Yorkshire kept up their 100% record in Group B after defeating Middlesex by 8 wickets with 3 overs to spare in the latest Clydesdale Bank 40 match played at Lord's, and these are the highlights. Neil Dexter won the toss and batted, but Middlesex got off to a bad start as Scott Newman fell in the second over. He followed a delivery from England's Ajmal Shahzad and nicked it behind after scoring only 1. Dexter himself opened the innings and was faced with Shahzad and the man he replaced in the England Test squad, Tim Bresnan. In Owe Shah took the total to 35 at the end of the 7th over, by which time Dexter was dismissed for 25 as he mistimed to pull off Bresnan and found Stephen Patterson at mid-on. Only 3 more runs had been added when Shah was also out as he gloved a ball from Bresnan behind after scoring 7. Middlesex were almost on 38 for 4 when, next ball, Bresnan produced a perfect Yorker, which Gareth Berg needed a couple of attempts to dig out. But having survived that, he and David Milan began to build the first partnership of real note as he added 61 in 16 overs for the 4th wicket. It was at times tough going for the pair against a confident Yorkshire attack, who'd begun this season's 40-over competition with 4 wins on the bounce. They were well on their way to a 5th when Milan turned a ball from David Wainwright to Rich Pyra at mid-wicket and was out for 28. Adil Rashid then got in on the act, claiming the wicket of John Simpson, who was well held by Jonathan Bairstow at the second attempt behind the stumps. Then, when Berg's classy innings was ended after he'd scored 40 as he top-edged a sweep off Wainwright to Andrew Gale, Middlesex were on 126 for 6 with fewer than 10 overs remaining. Building decent partnerships had cost Middlesex dearly, but on a positive note, they seem to have found a decent all-rounder in Tom Scollay. The man from Alice Springs had made only 1 other appearance for his county in the friendly match against Bangladesh, but he batted well here in scoring a run of balls 32. He fell with 14 balls of the innings left as he was bowled by Shahzad, but at least he'd helped the total up to 172 in partnership with Tom Smith. Smith then chipped Shahzad to Wainwright at mid-off in the final over to depart for 18. And Sean Udall was out to the final ball of the innings as Shahzad collected his 4th wicket for 34 runs as he celebrated his test selection in style, proving his fitness in the process. So Middlesex had reached 183 for 9 from their allotted 40 overs and needed to take early wickets to stand any chance of winning their 3rd match of this season's competition. Instead, they found Jacques Rudolph in fine fettle as he struck the first 6 of the match after Middlesex opened with Udall. The South African and his captain Gale were soon batting their hosts out of the match in what was becoming something of a one-sided contest. While Middlesex had managed only 13 fours in their innings, the boundaries were now coming more frequently. The pair brought up the 100 in the first 20 overs, with Rudolph reaching a 50 off 62 balls before Gale was well stumped by Simpson as he overbalanced and was out for 39. Alas, Rudolph was not going to be so generous as he continued to score, while Adam Lyth got his innings moving with another 6 off Udall. Lyth has had a tremendous season with the bat for Yorkshire this summer, and he was now making light of the target set. He couldn't take his side over the winning line, however, as he punched a ball from Pedro Collins back to the bowler and was out for 34. But by now only 18 runs were needed off 45 balls, and there was only going to be 1 winner. There was no pressure at all on Anthony McGrath, who was able to help himself to a couple of boundaries as he made 10 off 14 balls. But it was left to Rudolph to hit the winning runs to end the 37th over. This straight-driven 4 took him to 86, made off 115 deliveries as Yorkshire won by 8 wickets. It was all too easy for the visitors, who were well placed to make it through to these semis, but there are still 6 games left for Middlesex to try to catch them and to prolong their efforts in this competition.